You're not stuck because you're lazy. You're stuck because you're still playing by rules you didn't write, waiting for someone to choose you, validate you, and tell you you're enough. Meanwhile, people who are less smart but louder are getting ahead, not because they're better, but because they've figured out something you haven't. Life doesn't reward effort. It rewards leverage, pressure, and the courage to stop asking for permission. Think you're falling behind? Yeah, you are, just not for the reason you think. Right now, someone with less talent is outworking you. Someone with fewer skills is making more money. And someone with less fear is building the life you only daydream about. This video isn't here to motivate you. It's here to reprogram you from the ground up. 8 raw, unfiltered truths. Truths the weak ignore, but the strong turn into power. Let's begin. Truth number 1. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. Let's end the fairy tale right now. You're not magically going to receive what you deserve. You get what you're willing to fight for. Most people have only learned how to follow instructions, not ask for something better. That's why someone less qualified than you is earning more. That's why someone with less experience is leading the project you wanted. And that's why the quiet, hardworking employee is always overlooked, not because they're untalented, but because they never ask. The world isn't fair. It was never supposed to be. But it does reward those who negotiate with confidence. How many times have you settled for less just to avoid trouble, while someone else asked for more and got it? Stop waiting to be discovered. Start demanding to be seen. Because if you don't negotiate for yourself, someone else will negotiate on your behalf. Truth number 2. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards outcomes. This one hurts, especially if you grew up hearing, "You have so much potential." You can be the smartest, most creative, hardest working person in the room. But if there's no proof, no results, no track record, no one cares. You won't get hired for your potential. You get hired when someone sees you actually doing the work. A brand doesn't grow because you could have made great content. It grows because you hit publish again and again, even when your work sucked. Winners aren't always better. They're just more visible. They shipped faster, spoke louder, stacked evidence while you were still obsessing over details. And here's the painful part. Potential is a trap. It makes you feel good and helps your brain justify procrastination. Forget the compliments. Start collecting results. Truth number 3. People trust confidence more than competence. Think, if you just work harder, the world will notice? It won't. We live in an age of perception, and perception rewards the bold. Confidence isn't a bonus skill, it's a survival tool. That's why someone with half your ability runs the meeting. That's why the loud guy with wrong answers gets the mic. That's why you, with all your knowledge, still hesitate to speak. Confidence doesn't mean you're right. It means you're convincing. And here's the wild part. It doesn't even have to be real. Fake confidence works too. People mirror the belief you have in yourself. Walk into a room like you own it, and 90% of people won't question you. Walk in quiet, small, overly apologetic, and they'll assume you're not worth listening to. The world doesn't always reward the most skilled or the most experienced. It rewards the person who acts like they've already won. Truth 4. You don't need to be liked. You just need to be respected. And that one hurts, especially if you grew up trying to keep everyone happy. You don't need everyone to love you. You just need them to know they can't walk all over you. Being likable is easy, but being respected is power. You can be the kindest person in the room, but if you let people step over you, you won't get a medal. They'll just take advantage of you. And here's the trap. Trying to make everyone like you usually makes them like you less, because it comes off as needy and fake. Respect comes from having boundaries, from standing by your values even when it's hard, from being honest when staying silent would be easier. Stop being afraid of people misunderstanding you. Start being the person whose silence feels intentional, not insecure. Because the moment people realize you need their approval, they start treating you differently. Truth number 5. Most of the talent you see is really consistency dressed up as talent. Ever seen someone blowing up online and thought, how are they winning? It's not always skill. It's not always luck. Most of the time, it's because they kept going when everyone else quit. You've been sold the idea that success means being born gifted, but the people who win are the ones who kept showing up. Think your content isn't working? Check how many posts you've actually made. Think your skill isn't good enough? Okay, how many times have you practiced in public? The bitter truth is people don't fail because they're terrible. They fail because they stop. They post 3 times, see no results, and disappear. They start a routine, break it once, and throw the whole thing away. Then they look at someone consistent and call it talent, when it's really discipline plus time. If you want to be dangerous, be the person who doesn't quit when things get boring. Truth number 6. Rock bottom isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's a plot twist nobody talks about. Rock bottom isn't failure, it's freedom. When you lose the thing you were terrified of losing, you become a threat. No more expectations to manage, no image to protect, no pretending you're okay when you're clearly not. It hurts, yes, but it forces clarity. Because when your old life collapses, your real life finally has room to start. Some of the most powerful people alive began from zero, not because they were inspired, but because they had no other choice. No backup plan, no pride, just urgency. You don't have to want to hit rock bottom, but if you're there, good. Now you have nothing to lose. Let it be the start of your power, not an excuse to stay stuck. Truth number 7. You're not behind, but if you keep scrolling instead of building, you will be. It's not as late as you think, but the clock is ticking. Every time you scroll, you convince yourself it's for inspiration. But you just wasted 15 minutes you could have spent actually creating something. Most people don't lose because they're slow. They lose because they stay consumers forever. YouTube tutorials, productivity podcasts, motivational videos, they feel like progress, but they're not progress. You don't grow from what you consume. You grow from what you create. The people you admire aren't better than you. They just started earlier. They started while you were still hesitating. You don't need more tips. You need more output. Write the script. Launch the product. Post the version you're not 100% happy with. Because if tomorrow you stay scrolling, you're falling behind. Truth number 8. Clarity is a weapon. Ambiguity keeps people average. Most people walk through life like they're in a fogged-up room. They kind of want success. Maybe they'll get serious about it one day, when life finally calms down. But life doesn't calm down. If you don't know what you want, you don't know what to say no to. Guess what happens? The more options you let in, the more momentum you lose. Clarity cuts through the fog. I want this. I'll do it by this date, and anything that slows me down gets a no. It's a dangerous kind of focus. Most people are busy, but the ones with clarity become terrifyingly fast and effective.